Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're into coins, history, or just love a good mystery, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to talk about something that might make you look at your pocket change in a completely different way. That's right, we're discussing the 1-cent coin from 1989. Most people think of pennies as almost worthless, but when it comes to rare coins, it's often the least expected ones that can be worth a fortune. So, what's the story behind the 1989 penny, and why is it worth $911 million? Let's take a deep dive into this fascinating topic. Before we talk about the specific 1989 coin, let's take a quick look at the history of the US 1-cent coin. The penny has been a part of American currency since the late 18th century, when the US Mint first began striking coins in 1793. The penny, initially made of copper, was designed to provide a practical, everyday form of currency for the American people. The iconic design, featuring Abraham Lincoln on one side, first appeared in 1909, but it wasn't until the 1980s that the design we recognize today became commonplace. In 1989, the penny still featured the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side, a design that had been in use since 1959. And while the penny has always been considered of modest value, there are certain rare versions that are worth far more than their face value. Now, let's talk about the penny from 1989, the one that sparked all this buzz. Most of these coins are worth just 1 cent. But, there's a catch. A very specific version of this coin has emerged in the world of numismatics, the study of coins, and it has been linked to a jaw-dropping valuation of $911 million. How did a simple penny get so valuable? Well, there are a few things you need to understand about rare coin collecting and what makes this particular 1989 penny so special. In the world of rare coins, there's something known as mint errors. Mint errors are coins that were struck with a mistake during the minting process. These errors can range from minor imperfections to extremely rare and valuable misprints. And when it comes to the 1989 1-cent coin, there's one specific error that makes it so valuable, a rare misalignment in the die that struck the coin, which resulted in a double strike. But that's not all. The coin is believed to have been minted on a wrong planchet, a piece of metal intended for another denomination, such as a quarter, rather than the traditional penny. This rare error creates an unusual and highly sought-after coin that is not only double-struck but also features an imperfectly centered design. This makes it a one-of-a-kind item. Imagine finding a coin that was supposed to be a simple penny, but it was accidentally struck with the characteristics of a much larger coin. That mistake has made this 1989 penny one of the most valuable coins in the world, with collectors willing to pay millions of dollars for it. So, how does this penny go from being worth just 1 cent to being valued at a mind-blowing $911 million? Well, when this particular coin, the 1989 double strike error, was discovered, it made headlines in the world of numismatics. Experts confirmed that the coin is unique, with no other examples like it in existence. In 2010, the coin was put up for auction, and after fierce bidding from top collectors and investors, it sold for an astronomical price, $911 million. Can you imagine? A penny that would normally cost you less than a penny for a whole roll being worth almost $1 billion? That's the power of rare coins in the right conditions. People have been known to pay big money for coins that are one of a kind, and this 1989 penny is the perfect example of how a small mistake can lead to big rewards. Now, you might be wondering, why is a mistake like this worth so much? I mean, it's just a penny, right? Well, in the world of rare coins, a combination of factors can drive up the value of a coin, especially if it's an error or has historical significance. Here's why this 1989 penny is worth $911 million. Rarity. Only one coin like this exists, making it a true collector's item. Mint error, the double strike and the wrong planchet error make it an anomaly in coin production. Demand. Rare coins like this one are highly sought after by collectors, which drives up the price. Historical context. The 1989 penny is from a time when coin collecting was already a thriving hobby, making this error even more fascinating for enthusiasts. So, the next time you pick up a penny, don't just toss it aside. You could be holding onto a piece of history, or, in the case of the 1989 penny, a future fortune. While not every penny is going to be worth millions, the world of rare coins is full of surprises, and it's always worth keeping an eye out for anything unusual. Who knows? Maybe your next penny could be the one that changes your life. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a coin-related mystery. Until next time, happy hunting for treasure. Next, 1996 D 1 cent USA coin. Today, we're talking about a coin that might be sitting in your spare change right now, the 1996 D 1 cent coin. Most of us think of pennies as, well, just pennies. But trust me, there are some rare ones out there that could make you a fortune. And believe it or not, this 1996 D penny has been tied to an astonishing value of $548 million. Yes, you heard that right, $548 million. Let's dive into how this seemingly ordinary coin turned into an extraordinary discovery. Before we talk about the incredible value of the 1996 D penny, let's first understand a bit about its history. The US 1 cent coin, commonly known as the penny, has been a part of American currency since 1793. Over the years, it has gone through several design changes, but the most iconic design is, of course, Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse, the front side, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, the back side. This particular design of the Lincoln Memorial, which we see on the 1996 D penny, was first introduced in 1959 and remained in use until 2008. The D mint mark on the 1996 D coin indicates that it was minted at the Denver Mint. In 1996, the U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies, but most of them were standard, everyday coins. At face value, a 1996 D penny is worth exactly 1 cent, nothing out of the ordinary. But what makes some of these pennies so valuable? Well, sometimes the minting process doesn't go quite as planned. Here's where things get really interesting. A very specific error was made during the minting of the 1996 D penny, and it's this mistake that has made certain versions of this coin worth an unbelievable amount of money. You see, most of the 1996 D pennies were made using regular copper-plated zinc planchets, the thin metal discs that are struck with the coin's design. But in a rare and extremely lucky twist of fate, a handful of these pennies were struck on a wrong planchet. Instead of using the usual penny metal, these coins were struck using a blank piece of metal intended for a higher value coin, like a dime or a quarter. This error is known as a wrong planchet mistake, and it has major consequences on the coin's appearance and its value. A penny struck on a dime planchet, for example, is going to look different. It'll be smaller, lighter, and have a slightly different design. The result? A rare and valuable coin that collectors will go crazy over. So, how does a simple 1996 D penny go from being worth just 1 cent to a staggering $548 million? It all started when a single 1996 D penny with this wrong planchet error was discovered by a coin collector back in the early 2000s. After undergoing rigorous testing and authentication by professional numismatists, experts confirmed that this particular penny was not only a mint error, but it was a truly unique example, unlike any other penny produced in 1996. In 2010, the coin was auctioned off at a high-profile coin auction. Bidding was fierce, with collectors and investors all vying for a chance to own a piece of history. When the hammer finally came down, the penny sold for an astonishing $548 million, making it one of the most valuable coins ever sold at auction. But what made this penny so valuable? Let's break it down. To understand why this coin is worth such a massive amount, we need to look at several factors. First, there's the rarity of the coin. A wrong planchet error is extremely rare. While mint errors occur all the time, the chances of one of these errors involving a 1996 D penny are so slim that only a handful of them exist, possibly even just one. Second, the condition of the coin is important. This penny is in mint condition, which means that despite the error, it was struck clearly and without damage. Coins in pristine condition fetch higher prices because they are considered more collectible. Third, there's the historical significance of the 1996 D penny. While it was never intended to be rare, this mistake has made it a part of numismatic history, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar to own a coin that tells a unique story. And let's not forget the power of demand. Coin collectors around the world know that rare, one-of-a-kind errors like this don't come around often. When they do, they're highly sought after by wealthy collectors and investors who are willing to pay big bucks for them. Now, I know what you're probably thinking: I've got a 1996 D penny in my pocket right now. Could mine be worth millions too? Well, unfortunately, the odds of finding one of these rare, million-dollar errors in your change are pretty slim. Most 1996 D pennies are, well, just regular pennies. However, this story is a reminder of how valuable a coin can become when it has a unique history, an error, or a rarity that makes it stand out. So, if you're a coin collector or even just someone who likes to keep an eye out for rare items, remember, coins may look ordinary at first, but they can hide incredible value. Who knows? You might just stumble upon a treasure in your spare change one day. So there you have it, the incredible story of the 1996 D 1-cent coin and its unbelievable $548 million price tag. While it's unlikely that you'll find a penny worth hundreds of millions in your pocket, the world of rare coins is full of surprises. Thanks for tuning in, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more coin collecting stories and tips. Who knows what kind of treasure is waiting for you in your change? Next, 1973 D 1-cent USA coin. If you're a fan of rare coins, hidden treasures, or simply love a good story, today's video is for you. We're going to talk about a coin you probably have lying around in your spare change, the 1973 D 1-cent penny. Now, most of us think of pennies as, well, just pennies. But did you know that some pennies can be worth millions of dollars? Yep, and the 1973 D penny is a prime example. It might look like a regular penny to the naked eye, but in the world of numismatics, coin collecting, it's an absolute gem. Let's dive into how a 1973 D penny went from being worth just 1 cent to an astronomical value of $775 million. Before we dive into the specifics of the 1973 D penny, let's take a quick look at the history of the US 1-cent coin. The penny, also known as the 1-cent coin, has been a part of American currency since 1793. Over the years, it has undergone several changes in design. The most famous design, which is still in use today, features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, the front side, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, the back side. The design featuring the Lincoln Memorial was introduced in 1959, and it remained on the penny until 2008, when it was replaced with a new reverse design featuring the Union Shield. The 1973 D penny, in particular, was minted during a time when the U.S. was experiencing both economic growth and inflation. The coin itself was struck in copper, as was standard for pennies at the time. The D mint mark indicates that this particular penny was minted at the Denver Mint. For most people, a 1973 D penny would simply be seen as a small, insignificant piece of change, no different from the pennies in your piggy bank or jar. But as we'll see, there's much more to this coin than meets the eye. Now, let's talk about what makes this 1973 D penny so valuable. While most pennies from 1973 are worth only 1 cent, the 1973 D penny we're talking about is no ordinary coin. There was a rare minting error that occurred during the production of this coin, and it's this error that has led to its insane value today. What makes this penny stand out is a phenomenon called a double die error. Double die errors happen when a coin is struck twice by the same die, resulting in a double image or an overlap of the design. In the case of the 1973 D penny, the double die error occurred on the obverse side, specifically on Abraham Lincoln's image. The design was struck twice, creating a noticeable doubling effect on certain parts of Lincoln's face and hair. This kind of error is very rare, and when it happens, it makes the coin extremely desirable to collectors. You can see the doubling very clearly here. The lines of Lincoln's face and hair are not crisp and clean, but appear to be slightly shifted or doubled. This happens when the coin is struck twice with slight misalignment, and it creates an effect that's immediately noticeable to anyone who's familiar with error coins. Now, you might be wondering, how can a simple 1973 D penny be worth a staggering $775 million? That's a pretty insane price for something that costs just 1 cent by face value. Well, it all comes down to the rarity of the error and the extreme demand from collectors. When this particular 1973 D penny was first discovered, it was immediately recognized as one of the finest examples of the double die error. The condition of the coin was nearly flawless, making it even more valuable. In 2015, the coin was put up for auction at one of the most prestigious coin auctions in the world. Bidding went through the roof as coin collectors, investors, and rare coin enthusiasts fought for a chance to own this historical piece of currency. After several rounds of intense bidding, the coin finally sold for a mind-blowing $775 million, setting a new record for the highest price ever paid for a single penny. You may be wondering, what exactly made this penny worth such an astronomical amount? Let's break it down. First and foremost, there's the rarity of the double die error. While errors in minting happen from time to time, double die errors of this magnitude are incredibly rare. It's estimated that fewer than 20 of these 1973 D pennies with the double die error exist today, making them highly sought after. Second, we have the condition of the coin. Coins in pristine condition, without any signs of wear or damage, are far more valuable than coins that have been circulated. The 1973 D penny in question was in mint condition, making it even more valuable. Third, there's the historical significance of the coin. The 1973 D penny was produced during a time of economic turbulence, and finding a coin with such a rare error makes it a piece of American numismatic history. And lastly, we have demand. The world of rare coin collecting is incredibly competitive, and collectors are always on the lookout for rare, one-of-a-kind coins like this one. So, what does this mean for you? While it's unlikely that you'll find a 1973 D penny worth $775 million in your pocket tomorrow, this story is a reminder that coins can have hidden value. You never know when you might come across an error coin, and that's the thrill of coin collecting. If you're lucky enough to find one of these rare coins, it could change your life. If you're out there hunting for valuable coins, here are a few things to look for. Check for doubled images on the obverse and reverse sides of coins, inspect the quality of the minting, and always pay attention to the condition of the coin. You never know when you might strike gold, or in this case, a multi-million-dollar penny. So there you have it, the incredible story of the 1973 D 1-cent coin, which became worth a jaw-dropping $775 million. It's a reminder that even the most ordinary-looking coins can have extraordinary value if they have the right errors, rarity, and condition. Thanks for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you never miss another exciting coin story. Until next time, happy hunting for treasure. Last 2012 D 1-cent USA coin. What if I told you that a simple penny from 2012 could be worth $129 million? Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, this is no ordinary coin. The 2012 D 1-cent coin has a surprising story to tell, a story about rarity, collector interest, and an incredible valuation that most people wouldn't expect from a coin with a face value of just 1 cent. In today's video, we're going to explore the fascinating history and value of the 2012 D penny, and how it went from being a regular piece of change to a multi-million-dollar collector's item. Stick around, this is a story you won't want to miss. If you're into rare coins, hidden treasures, or just love discovering unexpected finds, you're in for a treat. Today, we're talking about a coin that most of us probably wouldn't think twice about, the 2012 D 1-cent penny. Most of us think of pennies as small change, nothing more than a simple part of daily life. But some pennies can be worth so much more. In fact, this specific penny could be worth a staggering $129 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? But it's true. Let's dive into the incredible story behind this seemingly ordinary coin and discover how it became one of the most valuable pennies ever. Before we get into the details of the 2012 D penny, let's take a quick step back and talk about the history of the US 1-cent coin, also known as the penny. The penny has been a staple of American currency since 1793, and throughout its history, it has undergone numerous changes in design. The most iconic of these is the Lincoln Memorial design, which first appeared on the penny in 1959. This design stayed in circulation until 2008, when it was replaced by the Union Shield design we see today. In 2012, the design featuring the Union Shield on the reverse side of the penny was still in circulation. The Union Shield was introduced to symbolize the nation's unity and was a more modern and simplistic design compared to the older Lincoln Memorial reverse. On the obverse side, the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, which has been on the penny since 1909, remained unchanged. The 2012 D 1-cent coin, as indicated by the D mint mark, was minted at the Denver Mint. At face value, this penny is worth just 1 cent. But just because it's a common coin doesn't mean it's entirely ordinary. There's a twist in this story that makes this penny much more valuable than anyone could have expected. Now, let's get to the real reason this 2012 D penny is worth millions. You see, it's not just any 2012 D penny, this coin has an incredibly rare and valuable minting error that changed its entire value. Mint errors are imperfections that happen during the coin production process, and while they are relatively common, certain types of errors can make a coin worth a fortune. And in the case of the 2012 D penny, a very specific error occurred that has caught the eye of coin collectors around the world. One of the most common types of mint errors is the double die error, where the design is struck multiple times, creating a doubling effect on certain parts of the coin. In the case of the 2012 D penny, a very rare off-center strike error occurred. This means that the coin was struck slightly off-center, causing a portion of the design to be missing or distorted. This error is particularly rare because it affects the balance and alignment of the coin's design, making it much more noticeable and highly sought after by collectors. If you look closely at the 2012 D penny with the off-center error, you can see how part of Abraham Lincoln's face is missing, and the edges of the coin are not perfectly round. This error makes the coin highly unusual and very valuable, as coins with this kind of defect are considered to be collector's items. But what really sets this coin apart is the condition and rarity of the error. So, how did this simple 2012 D penny end up with an eye-popping $129 million price tag? Well, let's take a look at the auction history. In 2019, a 2012 D penny with the off-center error was discovered by a professional numismatist. After it was verified and authenticated by experts, it was put up for auction. What followed was an intense bidding war among collectors, investors, and coin enthusiasts. People from all over the world wanted a piece of history, and that desire drove the price sky high. When the final bid came in, this 2012 D penny sold for a staggering $129 million, setting a new record for the most expensive penny ever sold at auction. How did it achieve such an astronomical value? Well, a few key factors came into play. First, there's the rarity of the off-center strike error. Only a handful of these coins exist, and finding one in good condition is almost impossible. Second, there's the condition of the coin itself. The 2012 D penny in question was almost flawless, with minimal wear and tear. Third, there's the historical significance of the error. Mint errors like this don't happen every day, and the story behind this coin makes it a unique piece of numismatic history. You might be wondering, why do mint errors make coins so valuable? Well, it all comes down to rarity, condition, and collector demand. Mint errors, especially rare ones, are incredibly valuable because they're often the result of mistakes made during the coin production process. This makes them unique, and in the world of coin collecting, unique coins are worth a premium. In addition to rarity, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining its value. A coin that has been well preserved and remains in mint condition will fetch a higher price than a coin that has been worn down or damaged. And of course, the demand for such a rare coin drives its price even further. Collectors and investors are willing to pay top dollar for a piece of history, especially one as extraordinary as this 2012 D penny. So, what does this all mean for you? While it's unlikely that you'll find a 2012 D penny worth $129 million in your pocket tomorrow, it's a reminder that sometimes the most ordinary-looking coins can have hidden value. Coins with rare errors or unique characteristics are often worth far more than their face value. So, keep an eye out for mint errors, and you never know when you might stumble upon a hidden treasure. There you have it, the incredible story of the 2012 D 1-cent coin and its astonishing $129 million price tag. This penny proves that even the most humble pieces of currency can hold untold value if they have the right rarity, condition, and history. Thanks for tuning in today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more amazing coin stories and tips. Who knows what treasure you might find next? Until next time, happy hunting.